Fixing your onboarding flow without metrics is like repairing a leaky pipe with the lights off. Progress will be slow, and you're more likely to do more damage than good. Not to mention you'll probably just make a mess. So in this video, I'll cover the 8 user onboarding metrics that will help you see what works, what doesn't, and how to improve it. Hi, I'm KK from AppQs, and if you want even more advice on user onboarding and product adoption beyond this video, don't forget to click that subscribe button. All right, let's get started. First up, retention rate. Retention rate is the percentage of users your product is able to keep over a given time frame. Onboarding is a key way to improve your overall retention rate, so keeping track of this metric will show you how well your optimizations are paying off. And remember, the end goal of onboarding isn't getting users to an aha moment, it's habit formation, aka retention. Tracking retention rate makes it easier to understand what makes people stay, who's staying, where there's friction, and that way you can finally double down on what's actually working. So if you think about it, retention is essentially the flip side of churn. So the longer you retain users, the better your churn metrics will look in the long run. Next, we're looking at engagement rate. Engagement rate is the percentage of users in a group who actively use your product over a period of time. You'll want to track this metric to see how changes to your onboarding increase engagement with your platform. To get the most out of this metric, you'll need to divide your user base into cohorts based on when they started onboarding. From there, check what percentage of that cohort uses your product daily, weekly, or monthly, depending on your definition of active. Over time, these optimizations will create a more engaged user base that's far less likely to churn. Third, we've got free trial conversion rate. The free trial conversion rate is the percentage of free trial users who become paid users over the course of their trial. This rate is handy for judging how well your onboarding shows users the value of your paid options. If you aren't hitting your conversion rate KPIs, you can try retooling your onboarding flows by adjusting the trial period, improving your in-app messaging to boost engagement, and adding flows to increase product adoption. Fourth in our list is completion rate. The completion rate is the percentage of users who actually finish your onboarding. So if people aren't finishing your onboarding flow, they're probably not going to convert. But you can start to fix this problem by spotting where they're most likely to exit. Try smoothing out these friction points by removing unnecessary steps, improving your user experience copy, or providing more guidance to your users. But don't forget that if the wrong people start onboarding and quit because there isn't a proper product fit, you're wasting time and resources on people who were never going to convert. And if this sounds like you, you're going to want to go ahead and audit and adjust your marketing efforts and messaging to target the right people. Time for number 5, which is time to value. Time to value is how long it takes for users to get from signing up to experiencing your product's value. To track time to value, you first need to identify the value your product brings users, considering things like why users tried your product in the first place. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this one can be kind of tricky to measure because each user might have different goals with your product. But here's our pro tip. We like to use the jobs to be done framework to segment onboarding based on your product's customer job. This way, your onboarding is continually building towards providing value for your unique users. And if your TTV just so happens to be faster than my cat's TTB, you're definitely doing something right. And for number 6, we're looking at feature adoption rate. The feature adoption rate measures the percentage of total users who are actually using a feature regularly. So if your feature adoption rate is low, see if you can do more to prioritize your most important features in your onboarding process. Your onboarding goal is to get users to key aha moments as soon as possible. So minor features that might distract your users can be introduced after onboarding. And for lucky number 7, we've got activation rate. So your activation rate measures the percentage of users who get to predetermined activation points you've identified as key indicators of long-term retention. Every product will have unique activation events that show users the value of your product. So the better you optimize your onboarding flow to get users to these moments, the more likely they are to stick around. We like to find key activation moments by working backwards. So you can ask yourself, what events do your most successful user cohorts accomplish before converting? Or when you talk to your users, what was the moment when they really started to love your product? Because once you start identifying what activates users, then you can start to optimize your flow and use this metric as your North Star to see how well your efforts are paying off. And last but certainly not least, the number of onboarding support tickets per day. The number of onboarding support tickets tells you how many users are struggling to complete your onboarding flow and are forced to ask for help. Effective onboarding experiences are intuitive and anticipatory, so users should move from screen to screen with any questions or concerns addressed in their progression. Use what you learn in these tickets to identify pain points and then A/B test solutions that answer users' questions so you can go ahead and nip churn in the bud before it has a chance to take root. All right, did you get all that? How about I do a quick TLDR for good measure? One more time, here are the 8 user onboarding metrics you should be tracking. Retention rate, engagement rate, free trial conversion rate, completion rate, time to value, feature adoption rate, activation rate, and finally, number of onboarding support tickets per day. If you've got questions or want more information, drop me a question in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the AppQ's YouTube channel for all things user onboarding. All right, see you next time.